there's so many people here. So I don't think I have enough.
You will leave it here.
I'll leave it here. You guys hear me? I'm going to be quick. I met Ari when he had a D next to his name. And I thought, I'm going to work with him for 3-4 months, and I'm 20 years Republican. I was a Democrat when I first moved to this country, because that's what we were told we were supposed to be. And then when I was 18, I kind of figured out, I respect my parents' opinion and everything.
Please, Mike, please.
Mike, please, because recording for us.
So what happened was, I met Ari. I'm like, he's a Democrat. I'll work with him because you know what? Our point was we had a mutual point. We were helping. And then the more I got to know him, the more I got to know, wait a minute, this guy's like a common sense Democrat, which is like very rare. So we became friends, and I kind of been supporting him because I like what he's about, and everything he has to say from the beginning. So we know each other for about 6 years. Democrat, Republican, for me, it was always Ari Kagan, the one that's willing to help the people in the community. And about the communism part, I don't know a lot about it. I moved here when I was about 6.5, 7. But one thing I do remember is I used to get up at like 3:30 in the morning with my father, and we'd go, because you know, by 7 o'clock there's no milk in stores, so we'd go get it straight from the truck. So I know what it is to everybody, for everybody to be equal. Unfortunately, I've seen it firsthand. I got up 4 o'clock in the morning. We used to go every 2 days to get milk. Sometimes we get it, sometimes we don't. You know, if we don't get it, we take the old milk, we'll mix it with water, and we have milk. So when you come here and you have all this opportunity, and, you know, my father would never imagine, you know, his son coming up. You know, I used to grow up in a point when, you know, you had 1 tangerine a day. You can't have a second one. Second one is tomorrow. So you know.
We have tangerines, by the way.
We were never about money. So when my father saw, you know, the firm from this kid from making $5 an hour to like 7 figures, and he's like, oh, you know, my father at first when you were I started in the bank, so everybody used to say the bank people don't make any money, so my father never. So I opened up my own firm. I showed my picture because like, we made this in a year. I'm like, no, last month. So made my father very proud, and it's good to feel that way. And if we go in the direction where everybody's equal, no kid is going to be able to have that opportunity to make their parents proud. Because say, you know what, I work hard, I bust my butt, I work 3 jobs, and I go to college to get my way through school. I don't want my debt to be canceled. I want to pay. I want to be able to pay myself. I worked in Sears, I delivered pizza, and I worked in Greenpoint Bank, if anybody ever knew that bank. So I worked 3 jobs to pay my Kingsborough. At that point, it was $3,000. It was a lot of money. So
that you've never seen by hard work.
So forgetting about that. But now, what I want to do is, and unless we get to the point of communism, which I hope we don't, I want to be able. I don't want to take a lot of your time. I know it's late. You guys are coming from work, but it's something that I could do. Money, I look at money as a tool. It's a hammer, right? You know, to put a nail in, you need a hammer. Money is a tool. I'm here to help you how to use that tool, and. If I can help, you know, a lot of advisors, you know, the reason why I want to speak is a lot of advisors you go to that have a $50,000 minimum, $100,000 minimum, $200,000 minimum. I don't believe in that. If you have $1,000 and you walk in, I'll help you. You know, I'll be out front. Maybe I might not spend 10 hours on helping you. I might spend 5 because somebody, you know, has $1 million. But I want to help everybody, and that's the ultimate goal. You know, if you, a lot of people don't understand when you change a job, it's good to speak to an advisor to look at your 401k. You know, you might want to manage that a little bit differently. You might want to manage it yourself. You might have money in a checking or savings account that's earning you 3%. Have you looked at the price of food lately? You know, $100 that you spend. My wife, God bless my wife, she deals with me. I don't do anything in the house. My job is outside the house, her job is inside the house. She goes shopping. She's like, I used to buy 3 bags of food, and those 3 bags of food used to cost me $80, $90, $100. And she's also professional. So my wife has 2 roles. My wife works, and my wife does everything. So God bless my wife for dealing with me. So, but at the end of the day, what used to take my wife $80 to purchase, now is about $200. So if you're keeping your money in a savings account, checking account, you're not losing money because the money moves like this in a straight line. But in fact, you're losing what's called buying power. Can you buy the same thing with $1,000 in your account today that you bought 5 years ago? And can you spend that $1,000 in your account you have now? Can you buy the same amount of stuff with it 5 years from now? Most likely not. If all of our mayors wants go into effect, you're most likely going to need much more because you're going to be supporting the 5,000 other people that don't want to work. So it's all about like having 100 people support the 1,000. It doesn't work because ultimately those 100 people either run out of money or they flee. So, but the money that you have, it's a tool. That hammer, you want to make sure it never goes soft and it's always hitting that nail. And having the money, there's nothing wrong with having money in a bank account. I have money in the bank account. Ari has money in the bank account. You all do. But keeping all your money in a bank account traditionally has not done well. You know, you'll see the savings account paying 3%, 4%. But those are not the kind of returns you want to have the buying power. Again, if you want to have the nicest car, if you want to have the nicest house, you want to make sure you have the nicest account. Because if those accounts don't bring the returns that you want, you're not going to be able to buy all the nice things you want. Because although you might have $50,000, that $50,000 is not worth more. I don't want to go over product because, first of all, I'm not a good public speaker all the time. And second of all, if I go over every product that I offered, I'd probably be here till the next meeting. So I know you guys want to have families that you want to go to. So I have cards here.
Big list.
Yeah, so there's a list, there's a team of people. I always believe in working with the right people. You know, I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I believe if you put a few smart people next to you, you actually make yourself look smarter. You know what they say, if you put like 5 good-looking people in front of you and you go back, you'll look much better because you have your head out. Same thing, I like to have a smart group of people around me to kind of help you. The way you become successful is by having successful people around you. I just want to give you a little bit of mine. I started working in the bank up to 2019, right before COVID. I left. I went from managing $140 million in the bank, over 2,000 families, to managing zero in 2019. I gave it all up. I was making $450,000 a year. I'm like, you know what? They were saying, you know, you got to do this. If the person doesn't have this kind of money, treat them differently, treat them that. They actually they were working in an immigrant neighborhood, and they said, we're going to take away the languages from the ATM machine because, you know what? We don't want those people. I'm like, you know what? That's fine. They didn't, you know what? I'd rather you say, you know what? I don't want your business than try to make it difficult for me, so I leave myself. But why would you give me a hard time? You know, just say, you know, I don't want your business. Be honest. I was always thinking a man should be able to speak his mind without, you know, you deal with the consequences. So at that point, they came, I'm not going to mention the name of the bank, but they came in and said, you know what, we're going to make it so difficult that we don't want these people because they have $500, they have $1,000. They have 500, the grandmother, but the grandson has $2 million. If you kick out the grandmother, the grandson's really, and exactly what happened. And I was making good money. It didn't affect me. I could have said, you know what, I could have said, thank you, sir, no problem, we'll do what you want. I'm like, you know what, that's done. So I left. So I went from 140 million to zero. And today I want to say thank you to Southern Brooklyn. I managed about $220 million. So I went from and the reason why I mentioned those numbers is because I don't discriminate, not based on amount. I have clients that have 5,000 with me. I have clients that have 50 million with me. I'm sorry, 5 million with me. So it's not, the amount doesn't matter. If you do ultimately the right things will happen. If you do the wrong thing, the wrong things will happen. That bank ended up switching 2 times. The name ended up switching 2 times, and now they're no longer, well, the current bank is in business, but the bank that wanted to do what they did is no longer in business. I don't want to take too much of your time. There's my information here. There's business card. If there's not enough, you can always find me through Ari. I know everybody knows me, Ari. I want to give you guys all individual attention. And having in this room, we're all like-minded, but I could talk all day. Again, thank you very much for giving me the time. I appreciate it.
I would like to add that once I had a situation, one lady in Seagate was in a big despair, and she asked for assistance, and I called Mark. He didn't ask for her name, for her address, for her status, and he was not even in New York City. He said, this is like, come to my apartment, and his wife said, this is $500. I'm like, no, we'll give you checks, we'll give you receipts, and I was bothering him with these receipts for several months. And he said, like, I don't need your receipts, I believe you, and this lady really needed help, so I will help her. That's kind of person he is, you know, and he's helping everybody. Person who has a few $1,000s or $1 million, he's helping everybody. So that's why he's making poor people middle class, wealthy millionaires. He's making everybody richer. So he's not Donald Trump, but he's making everybody richer, you know? So thank you, Mark. Thank you so much. Thank you. And by the way, maybe you know, but starting January 1st, this big, beautiful bill became officially as a law of the land, and starting January 1st, everybody in America paying less taxes, everybody. And this nonsense that this bill only about billionaires is exactly that, it's nonsense. Because we're talking about tax and tips, that's Uber drivers, taxi drivers, waiters, that's not billionaires. If we're talking about no tax on social security, that's every possible person who worked hard for the retirement, no more tax on social security, not billionaires only, you know, like, so, oh, it's only for billionaires. No tax on overtime, that's fantastic, that's fantastic. Tax credit, more tax credits for children, that's fantastic. New savings account for every newborn child, fantastic. So it all started January 1st. So I know that Jennifer Moore wanted to make some announcement about Kings County GOP event. So you will announce better. Jennifer Moore, by the way, is a volunteer treasurer of our Community First Republican Club, also a long-time friend. Thank you.
Thank you, Ari. And Liam McCabe did want me to make an announcement. We are having a Lincoln Day dinner, a gala, on Thursday, February 12th at 7 p.m. at El Karim in Mill Basin. We'll be releasing a graphic at the end of this week, but please save the date. Please come support the party. This is our first Lincoln Day dinner in a long time, so we really want to make it a success. Thank you.
Thank you very much. By the way, Liam McCabe was at our grand opening last month, so we always welcome him as well. I see Benchimol, Stephanie raised your hand, you wanted to say something, I saw, yeah? You changed your mind?
No, I'm
Okay.
No, I just wanted to say that I think that every religion in the United States of America should have one day. Jewish, Muslim, Catholic, Christian, and I think that the veterans should have one month. Buddhist.
Okay, thank you.
Right?
Listen, our club brings all people and communities together. Just look around and you will see every possible race, nationality, religion, age, you know, like everybody. That's the beauty of America, and that's why we call it Community First Republican Club. Because we are planning to do a lot of events, bringing all different communities. That's the whole point. So, Fanya, you wanted to say something? We have a vice president of our club, Fanya Vasilevsky. She's helping so many people. For 50 years, by the way, she has been working for Department of Homeland Security. And like, after she retired, at that time it was immigration, yeah, in naturalization services. Not 50 years, 15 years, okay. 15, okay. She's very young, by the way. And she helps so many people now. She called me yesterday, she wanted to help children who play violin. She always thinks how to help people. And that's why she's invaluable. Fanya Vasilevsky is the first vice chair of our club, and I'm very grateful that she agreed to volunteer for us. She's also vice president of the Jewish Center of Brighton Beach. She's also a former Republican district leader, by the way, and she was the president of Ronald Reagan Republican Club. So she helped so many people, and she's helped so many candidates. Please, Fanya Vasilevsky.
As a Vice President, I want to thank you, all of you, who came to our first general meeting. Thank you very much. Lava Ari founded this club with one clear Ari, our president, founded this club with one intention, to help people, to help community. I just want to tell you, I have only 2 minutes, so I'm going to be very brief. I just realized, I just had read it in not in the news, how our beautiful Mayor Mamdani won. He won by securing more than 100,000 volunteers that knocked on 3 million New Yorkers' doors. That's how they won. We, at that time, were arguing whether to vote for Sliva or Cuomo, or do something else. Now it's our time, and I encourage you, we need to organize. We need to do something. We're gonna have next elections. Please, whoever is here who have friends who can help and get involved, please write down your name. If you want to volunteer, do whatever you want to do. You want to, whatever, up to you what you want to do. But volunteer, we need to organize. We have to have a volunteer base. So when the election comes, we're prepared and we have two amazing election officials right now. We need more of them. We need candidates and we need people not only for the election, but for other issues. Like, for example, as the City Council said about canceling the protection of Jewish people in New York City. Practically, the Jews left defenseless here in New York City. And if you think that Jews are going to be the only one, they're going to come from Catholics, they're going to come from Protestants, they're going to come from black people. We've been there. If you know the history, you will know. So please, if you want to volunteer, write down your name, your telephone number, and interest what you want to volunteer, and I'll contact you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Fanya. Thank you so much. I would like to emphasize that this year is election year. If you don't know again, this year we're electing a governor, New York State Controller, New York State Attorney General. We're electing United States Congress. We're electing New York State Assembly. We're electing New York State Senate. We're electing judges. Every position is very important. Every position is very important. I believe we have Assemblyman Michael Novakhov, Republican Conservative Assemblyman Michael Novakhov, who is running for re-election and who is one of the ex-officials of our club. Please, Assemblyman Michael Novakhov, please be respectful, please.
Mr. President, thank you. And thank you so much for such a warm welcome. I feel that I wanted here. Well, first of all, congratulations with our first, we just had grand opening, so this is our first official session. Congratulations. And yes, they were still here. I think Alec is coming. I heard, I don't know, we hope. We just saw each other at the Conservative Party interview. I hope I passed it. I hope I passed it, because by the way, I have to mention, I know we're a Republican club, but I have to mention the Conservative Party, which is our closest ally and friend, and Conservative Party helped me a lot winning the last time, and I hope to be on the conservative line again, because it's going to be a very tough year. It's going to be a very tough year, and they want the city back. They want those Republican seats that we won in 2022, me, myself, Alec Brook-Krasny, and Lester Cheng, and they want them back. They want this seats back. They want to control the whole city, and they're investing so much money into those races. I just want to give you an example. Like my opponent invested. The groups that invested in him, they invested $850,000 in his race, and I still won with, I spent about $170, and I still won. So I just want to tell you, it's not always about the money, right? It's about volunteers, it's about the passion, it's about the issues, it's about, it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of different stuff. So it's not, don't think that, oh, this candidate has more money, he's going to win. No, it's not always the case. Money helps, of course. Of course, money helps to win. Because with money, we're buying ads, we're sending flyers, a lot of things can be done with money. But it's not always money. So, for example, I saw my opponent's picture on social media where he's shaking hands with Assembly Speaker Carl Hasty, right? And I think he will be announcing soon that he runs against me. But this is, I don't want to call the name of my opponent, so I don't think it's necessary. Yeah. But this is what we're gonna bless him with, because he shook hands with the guy who endorsed Mamdani. right? So when he tells us that he wants to fight Mamdani as a Democrat, we said, no, you shake hands with Speaker Hasty, and Speaker Hasty endorsed Mamdani, right? So, you know, we got to use this, you know, we have to think. We always have to think. And like, you know, they're sharing the same party, and the same party means the same ideology. You know, you can be a conservative Democrat, a not conservative Democrat, it doesn't matter. That they're sharing the same, it's the same party that endorsed Mamdani to win. I don't know if you yes.
Let me just add, every vote in New York State Assembly, every vote in New York State matters a lot, So if we have more Republicans, we're fighting the machine that supported Mamdani, that's telling him, we will do whatever you want, we will help you a lot. Carl History said, welcome to Albany, your agenda is our agenda. But if we have more Republicans, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So every person, every vote is very important. And
it was interesting. So yesterday there was an opening, the opening ceremony of the 249th Assembly session. 249th. I hope I'm not going to miss the 250th. And I never heard. I mean, it's my fourth time actually hearing the opening speech, and I never heard so much blame to Washington. You know, half of his speech, half of the Speaker's Hasty, Assembly Speaker's Hasty speech was dedicated to White House, to Washington D.C., blaming them for everything. He didn't say Trump, but you know, we understand. We understand what he means. So he blamed. But hey, I mean, why do you blame the White House? Trump was there for just 1 year. What about before that? You have Democratic majority in the Senate, Democratic majority in the Assembly, you have Democratic governor, and you had 4 years of a Democratic President of the United States. Who are you blaming? What have you done within this 4 years? Right? So, like, don't buy this. It's like, you know, often I meet a lot with the old folks, and you know, their concern is the money stolen from their EBT cards. It's a huge concern, and they're telling me, well, you know, it's Trump, it's Washington. I'm like, Wait a second. The federal government gives the money to the states, and I think it's $40 million per month they're giving to all the states. So the state's responsibility is to distribute the money among those who are eligible for the food stamps, for the EBT cards, right? And the state failed to protect this money. So the money was stolen from these poor people, and the state failed to protect this money. The state failed to issue just regular, simple, cheap cards. You know, like the cards that any bank has, like the card that anyone has in your pocket, any of you. We all have these cards. Why it takes the state 2 or 3 years to issue? I mean, in TD Bank you can do it in 10 minutes, right? It takes state. It's not issued yet, so the money is still slow. So it's like, and they're trying to blame Trump for that. How you can blame Trump for that? Yeah. How you can blame? You know, the federal government gives you money, so how can you blame? I mean, I'm trying to work with the federal government to, you know, to ask them to reimburse people, to open some kind of an emergency fund to reimburse people, because I feel so bad. I mean, I have tears in my eyes when I see those babushkas. Yeah, babushkas, right? Saying, Mike, Misha, you know, this is all the money we have for food. $290, I think they're getting, right, on the EBT card. And some of them, you know, some are less wealthy, some are more wealthy, but they're saying this is all the money we have for food. And I'm like, oh my God. And So I'm trying to get them reimbursed for that. Guys, it's $58 million stolen. 58 million from 150,000 people. And many of them, well, most of them are New York City residents. So that's a problem number one, to get them their money back, because you know they didn't do anything wrong. Why they should be punished? And the issue number two is to give people those cards with the chip, which state completely failed. So the state fails to manage. The state fails to manage. The federal government gives the state, you know, all the funds, but they fail to manage the funds. Or like, for instance, you know, what happens in Minnesota, right? With all the Somali mafia. We're talking about an amount of almost $1 billion. This is insane. This is crazy. This is absolutely insane. So we need, the federal government needs more control of its own money that is giving to the states, especially to the blue states. Because blue states, they just, you know, they're receiving this money, but they don't feel they're responsible for those billions of dollars from the federal government. And that's a huge issue. Another issue is we're out of budget. We don't have enough money in New York State budget, and the budget rises every year. The last year it was 254 billion. This year, you know, we're betting in Albany. What do you think? How much is going to be the budget? You know, the guy says, you know, with Mamdani appetite, it's going to go like to 275 billion. It's insane. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you so much. Glad to be here with you. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. Thank you.
We are actually in the 45th Assembly District right now. Yeah. So this is our Assemblyman.
Welcome to my district.
Michael Novakhov. This year is the election year. Don't forget, Michael Novakhov. Bring your friends and neighbors. We need every vote. Last time it was really close. This year, we need to fight to make it not close, to make it landslide victory for you, okay? Thank you. So, I got the text from Assemblyman Alec Brook-Krasny. He said he's possibly coming very soon. I would like to give a chance to Igor Kazatsker, our board member. He's responsible for Russian-speaking community outreach. Good friend, former council member, very talented person. I cannot sing, he can. You know, he can do a lot of things I cannot. Igor Kazatsker.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not gonna make speech. I want to play a game with you, a word game. Everybody, please attention. I want to play with you the guess game, word game. Let us imagine. This is Queens, this is Brooklyn, this is Manhattan, this is Staten Island, and so on. This is model of our big city. Okay? Okay, please. I just want to remind you one of very important things. Who can tell me the very famous nickname of our city? Very famous. Historically. Which one? No, not Big Apple. Not Red Apple. No. Melting pot. Melting pot. This is the scene that organized our city, that created our city. To my mind, to my memory, I remember only one moment in the history of our city. It was September 11, when we were united with all the New Yorkers. We now separated, we now are divided. We have to return to our name, New Yorkers. That is our goal, our target in our club. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Igor. Thank you. Igor, thank you so much. President of Odessa Community of New York. A lot of immigrants from Odessa came to New York, and especially to Brighton Beach. It reminded them the Crimea. I see Assemblyman Alec Brook-Krasny. He came right on time. Okay. Again, this year is the election, and every vote matters. I would like to give a chance to speak to Assemblyman Alec Brook-Krasny. Okay. Assemblyman Alec Brook-Krasny.
Hello, good people. All right, first, my apologies for being late, but you really need to know, why I'm late. This is the funniest story that happened to me. This week it's definitely the funniest story. You remember that Conservative Party office, 486 78th Street? So I'm coming to 486 78th Street, the Conservative Party office. And it's, glass door, right? You're just buzzing in. And I see the guy is coming from the second floor, and he's in his underwear. Underwear.
We understand.
He's in underwear, right? And I came to the interview, Conservative Party, right? So he's opening the door and saying in a broken English, moved. They moved. Okay, all right. Where did they move? In a broken, it's just, guys, you have to understand that. You gotta be there in order to understand. In a broken English, this guy is saying, follow the Jewish man. And, on the corner you have restaurant,
The man is there.
Soul of Palestine. Right? So what do you think? What this guy is telling you? Follow the Jewish guy? What, he's kicking me out or something? Right? So I'm calling friend, Willow Maron, the chair of the party, and saying, friend, what's going on here? Saying, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. With such and such address, right? So I'm coming to 8842 Fort Hamilton Parkway, and only there, when Kalman Yeager is screaming to me from across the street, Kalman Yeager, in a kippah, all right? Screaming from the other side of the street, Alec, come get my spot. Then I realized what that guy was telling me about this Jewish guy. He wasn't sending me to Israel or something, right? But he said, follow that Jewish guy. I'm like, what he's talking about? And then I see Kalman Yeager and say, Kalman, you that Jewish guy. Now you know why I'm late, right? I followed the Jewish guy. He didn't come here. So, guys, first of all, it's great to see you all. It's always a very diverse and a wonderful company, Salam alaikum, alayhim shalom, Like I have a couple of Muslim guys, my very close friends, and when they say Salam alaikum, I'm saying alayhim shalom. It's the same thing. And that's the way it's supposed to be in this city. And I hope that it's going to be that way. How long it's going to take? I don't know. Maybe a couple of weeks, maybe 2 years. But people will have to come to understand that we're all New Yorkers. We gotta work together. And maybe when you talk to this guy who's sending you to the other Jewish guy in a very broken English, at first you think, my God, what's going on here in this part of the region? What, they sending me now to the Jewish guys? That's because I didn't understand what guy was talking about, right? He meant very well. And at first, I thought he's just kicking me out of that area. So this is something that we all have to understand. We have to understand that people are all different. And I certainly hope that this guy whom we're calling now a mayor will come to that understanding one day. Because he has no choice. He has no choice. He's a mayor of the city where people speaking 250 languages. Ari is saying 270. I trust her. But before that moment will happen, we have a stuff to do. We have to be very loud, and we have to be very proud. We have to be proud of who we are, no matter what accent we're speaking with, or what religion we are. We have to be very proud of our own heritage first. And when we're proud of our own heritage, when we respect ourselves, then we're going to be respecting the others. That's the only way. And this is the way for you, for me, for you, for you. And this is the way for the mayor of the city. He has no choice, has to understand. Right now, I'm just looking at the pictures and see some people that I don't think would be able to understand anything real quick. But I think they're all gonna come to understand that this is a complicated city with a lot of people, with a lot of different opinions. But I truly believe that it depends on us, first and foremost. We have to be very proud of who we are. Sometimes I'm speaking to the people from my own tribe, from Upper West Side. They feel guilty. But what? And they started to say some stuff that you wouldn't even believe. Because they themselves, they don't respect themselves. And they don't know what they're talking about. So let's just make sure that we respect ourselves. Let's make sure that we're proud of who we are. Whether we're Russians, Jewish, Pakistani, Chinese Americans, Italian Americans, even Georgian Americans. Gamma Jews. Gamma Jews. We will have to move forward, no matter what we have. You see, he has that ability to remember everyone. I'm saying that you're amazing. I'm saying he's a humble guy. Guys, thank you very much for coming together. I want to thank Ari for bringing us all together. And to every one of you, just have a blessed New Year. Have a healthy and happiest year ever. Enjoy yourselves and try to deal with positive people only. Don't touch negative people.
Don't touch.